few months ago, I started like watching you from YouTube. I found you, and 2, 3 months later, I finally decided to forgive my grandmother because I saw your videos and I saw myself like I literally act like a woman. I act,
You're 23 years old. You don't
yes,
understand how fortunate you are to be waking up at such an early age. So go through the valley of the shadow of death. Aman, welcome to the show. You're on the air.
I just see how are you.
All is well, sir. Thank you for calling.
Don't call me sir. I'm just 23. I'm younger than you.
Oh, well, thank you, young sir.
Yes. I was thinking of answering the biblical question and some one more question other than that.
To whom or what are you loyal and why?
I am loyal to my thoughts and imagination and feelings because as soon as I've noticed like these few weeks, as soon as something happens in my life, I go back to my thoughts immediately. I go back into my thoughts. I search for answers. I start to feel stuff, fear, anger. I try to find all kind of ways, and then 5 minutes later, I come back to myself, and I'm like, what the?
What the? Wow.
Yeah.
And why do you keep doing that knowing that that's what you're doing?
It's like it's like I've been taught that way. It's like an
Yeah.
instinct. And when I come back to myself, I'm like, I notice that I did that unconsciously. It's like a habit, a natural habit, an unnatural natural habit that has been taught to me by the world or the devil.
That's amazing, man. I would love to respond to what you've said, but I got to hold it to Sunday. Are you doing the silent prayer every morning, every night?
Yes.
Nice. Aman, stay with it, man. You're 23 years old. If you stay
Yes.
with it and every morning, every night, and during the day, practice bringing your mind back to where your body is, you have no idea of the hell you're avoiding and of the heaven that you will experience. And to be starting out as a young person, it's going to be amazing, man, but you got to stay with it.
I also wanted to ask something, but like, is it okay?
Yeah. Ask.
So it's about like few months ago I started like watching you from YouTube. I found you, and 2, 3 months later I finally decided to forgive my grandmother because I saw your videos and I saw myself like I literally act like a woman. I act like my grandmother. I constantly lie, feel anger, feel fear, doubt, stress. As soon as I even walk outside of my house and encounter people, I would start to feel fear, like, oh, they're going to beat me up.
Yeah.
They're going to say something. They're going to do this, do that. I would worry, and I noticed that. And after a few months of watching her, I all of a sudden I just like, you know what? Let me just do it. And I went to her, and I said, uh, in India, like there are two languages mostly spoken, English and Hindi. Hindi is like Indian language,
Right.
and I told her in English first, and I told her like I'm sorry for being angry at you, and because this and that, and you tried to turn me away from my father and my mother, and you tried to put your will in me, and now I'm suffering. I feel fear, anger. I feel pathetic and like all kinds of stuff. I said, and I told her, and at the end I said, I forgive you for everything. And then after that in English, because she does not speak English, she only knows Hindi. So then I said to her in Hindi. And after that, she started crying and stuff. And I just ignored it because whatever comes out of a woman is just pure evil. They don't even know it.
Right.
She was like crying. She was crying and stuff, and said to me that, oh, you know, whatever I did, forgive me, and also tell your father, because we in my house in India, it's normal to live with your mother and grandmother and stuff like that. So she told like also tell your father, and I just ignored it. And this is the most important part I have to tell and ask you. After I forgive her, I slept And when I woke up the next day, everything was so amazing. I felt nothing. As soon as I woke up, I felt nothing. I could look at a dog or an animal or plants or human beings. I could see so clearly, like, why are they behaving that way? Why did they wear those clothes? I felt so manly. I felt no fear, no worry, no doubts, no jealousy, literally nothing. And I was like, wow, I felt nothing. And then I watched, 1 week later, I watched your video and you said, like, when you feel nothing, that is love. So I was like, wow, I literally feel nothing. And I could face every woman on the planet. Even if a lion came in front of me or a bear or somebody would point a gun at me or point a knife at me, whatever it is, I was like, okay, whatever, do whatever you want. I felt nothing about it. I just watched and I saw the truth, and it just so was clear. And this was my first time feeling so manly. Like, it's like amazing. And I felt the love. But what happened was that I did not do the silent prayer. And I still live in my mother's house with my parents. And after 1 or 2 months, after 1 month, I also forgave my mother and father. But after 1 or 2 months, I started to feel again the anger. I started worrying. I started acting like, even now, like when I'm talking with you, right now I'm shaking for some reason. And I don't know why that is. And after that, I noticed that I'm going back to my hell again. After I wake up from it, after I saw everything, and now I feel like, I don't know what's going on, but then I was like, maybe, you know what, let me just start doing the silent prayer. Let's find out. And I've been doing the silent prayer for like 1 month now, constantly. I would do it morning, night, practice in like day, like 2-3 times. And I keep I don't feel the same up, like for some reason. And that I was wondering why that is. Is it because I did not leave the house and did not do the silent prayer, or is it some other reason?
Hold on a minute. It's a perfect question. Aman.
Yes.
I assure you, and without a doubt, the feelings that you're having now are not your feelings. Those are the feelings of the ego nature, which is of evil. It's that spirit that made a home in your mind and emotions in your body. And all your life, you have thought it was you, but it's not you. And now that you have gone and forgiven, and the light of God is now shining inside of you, so you can see the not you, that is the thing that will be taken away from your mind and your body. The spirit of evil, the ego feeling, the ego spirit will be taken away from you. And when you feel like, you say you felt nervous or shaking while talking on the phone here.
Even right now when I'm talking to you,
yeah,
I feel shaking. But 1 or 2 months later, when I just forgave my grandmother, I felt nothing. I didn't shake. I could face anyone on earth without having no feelings, no thoughts. I would just look at their eyes and just see like they cannot help themselves.
That's right. Well, the beauty of that, now that you can see that, that is not you. Just never say I this and I that. Know that that's not me. That's not me thinking that. I didn't create those thoughts. Even though you feel the pain in the body, the fear, the loneliness, or whatever it might be, just know it's not you. And if you just watch it, stay with the silent prayer and watch it, all you need to do is see it. And it's the light of God that is allowing you to see that this thing is not you. It has never been you, but you identify with it thinking that it was you. It will be taken away. You're doing the real you, you're doing just fine. And if you just watch this thing, it will be taken away. And you're that moment when those days or months when you didn't feel anything, you had no fear, you had nothing but love, That is all you will ever have for the rest of your born days here on earth. You will have nothing but love. And you will be able to see what's going on not only inside of you, but inside of others. And that will protect you from the world. But you're doing just fine. Seeing that feeling, seeing those thoughts, and seeing that you're feeling that is all you need. You're doing just fine. It is not you that feels shaken right now. That's a spirit of evil that is shaking because the light of God is shining on it. And the darkness cannot handle the light. It is afraid of the light. And so it feels like you're shaking, but it's not you at all.
Yep.
So from now on, just know that's not me. I see it.
Okay.
I feel the pain, but it's not me. It's in the body, but it's not in you. So stop identifying with it. And the death that God and his son Christ talked about, you have once to die and once to live, it's the death of the ego. Now that you have the light, let the ego die, and it's going to act up. It's going to go wild inside your body, and in your mind, it's going to tell you, if you don't have your thoughts, what would you be? If you don't identify with that, what would your identity be? What would you identify with? It doesn't want to die, and it's trying hard to make you think it's you, but it's not you.
Yes, I noticed that a lot. Like it's trying to tell me all the time, it's you, it's you, it's you.
Yeah.
And I get surprised, and 5 minutes later, I wake up like, that's not me at all.
That's right. 100% not you. I promise you it's not you. It has never been you, but you didn't know it as a kid, and so you identify with it as though it was you, and it is a false identity. It is not you. If you stay with it, man, it will depart from your body and go make a home in someone else's body.
I also wanted to ask, how do I know when I enter the valley of the shadow of death? How do I know, I am in that?
Okay, good question. You will know when that shaking is happening right now. You feel the shake when you're talking on the phone, or you feel the fear or whatever in the body. That is the valley of the shadow of death. And so you got to go all the way through it, layer after layer after layer, go all the way through it. And on the other side of the valley or the shadow of death is heaven, is paradise. You will know it because the pain is going to get greater and greater and greater. And it's going to try to deceive you to come back. No, I don't want to leave. Hold on to me.
It does all the time. When I just forgive my grandmother, I before that, I was so lustful. I would look at the woman. I would just feel all kinds of lustful thoughts. But as soon as I forgave my grandmother, women were created in the image of men.
Yes.
And every time I see a woman, I could see the image of the man, and I would be like, I don't want to do anything with that. It just feels weird. Even looking at that and imagining, that is so weird, looking at another man's image and imagining all kinds of stuff.
That's amazing. You're 23 years old. You don't understand how fortunate you are to be waking up at such an early age. So go through the valley of the shadow of death. God is with you.
Yes.
And it's not you that's dying, but it's the false you. It's thinking that you're the pain. It's thinking that you're lonely. It's thinking that you're afraid. It's thinking that you're depressed. It's the false suicidal thoughts, ideas. It's the false this and the false that. Although your falseness will disappear and you will have real reality right here on earth, but you will be living from within. So let it die. I don't care how painful it gets. Go through the pain. It's the pain of evil that's leaving you. It's not you.
Yep, I noticed that.
And stay with the prayer. Stay with the prayer. And and I'm repeating myself, from this day forward, never say, this is me. I'm afraid. I'm this and I'm that. You're none of those things. And the reason I want you to say it because you'll stop identifying with it. Eventually, you won't have to say it because eventually you will know. The understanding will come that it's not you at all, and you will be made free from hell. And the hell is the ego. So stay with
Sounds
it.
nice.
Yeah, it's not you, man. I promise you, it's not you at all. It has never been you. The identities that we have picked up, the ideas that we have picked up have to die. And that's what's happening, all right?
Yes.
And the shaking is not you. It's the spirit of darkness shaking because the light is shining on it now that you have forgiven. And the light is God, it's love, it's truth, it's freedom, it's everything. Amazing. Thank you, Aman. Call me again, man.
Yes, I would.
Yeah, let me know how it goes, but stay with it. You're doing just fine.
Okay. Thank you. I love you, Jesse.
Love you too, buddy. Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Can you imagine waking up at 23? 23. My first awakening came at 38. What the? But anyone that wants it can be free. You really can. Pay attention to you and stop loving your hell. Stop loving your hell. Don't hate it and don't love it. Have no opinion about it. Lay down all opinions. Lay your weapon down. And let yourself spiritually fall off the cliff with nothing to hold on to. And you shall be born again of the Father.